now recording this session. Okay, acha. Question number 1, page number 146. Page 146. What is the best way to choose a street stall where the fa is likely to be good? It's in paragraph 1. Oh, Awaimir, you don't have a book.
So when the when a door is open and the steam is coming out.
And number 2, the first way to know where the best fa is selling is a lot of steam is coming out from the doorway. And the second hint is
The aromatic fog.
yes. And the second, Mano, 1 minute.
Hello, Shakar.
Hello.
Time pass.
Yeah, just ma'am, your mic is muted.
Ma'am, your mic is muted.
Thank you. Point 1 in this question will be that the best fa would be sold at a stall which has a lot of a lot of aromatic steam coming out of the doorway. And point number 2 in this question will be a cluster of people sitting on ankle high stools. Okay, this is paragraph 1. Awaimir, what I can do for you is that I can scan both the pages of the text and I can share it on Google Classroom. Okay,
Okay.
is it good? हो गया. Chaji. Question number 2. From paragraph 1 again, what does the street stall have in place of advertising? Instead of an advertisement banner, how does the street stall advertise itself?
The smell of a national obsession.
Exactly, the aromatic fog is the stall's advertisement. If you want, you can take down the answers, note down the answers in the note form. मैंने pencil पता नहीं कहाँ रख दी अपनी, पता नहीं. What are the from question number 3, paragraph 2, what are the visible signs that Thawan stall sells good fa? Mohsin, please unmute yourself and participate in the lesson. We are on page number 146 of your student book. Yes, please. What are the visible signs that Thawan stall sells good fa? Paragraph 2.
It looks like he's selling fast correctly because of the charcoal fired stove.
No, no, no. We're talking about paragraph 2, mera bacha. Paragraph 2. Search for the answer to the question from paragraph 2 only. towards the end of paragraph 2? The answer lies towards the end of paragraph 2. What are the visible signs that Tauvan's stall sells good for? Mohsen? Beta, this way, the whole lesson will be a waste now if you're not going to participate. 3 days we took to read the text, and today was a day to participate and give me the answers to the question. मैंने अपने लिए तो नहीं ना पढ़ना. I'm not studying over here for myself, am I? The text is for you guys, na? You have to answer. I've explained everything so thoroughly in detail. All you have to do is look for the answers from the text. Mohsen?
A little shavings of blood fillet.
Paragraph 2, mera bacha. Paragraph 2. From your textbook, paragraph 2. She has a dozen customers around her shop sitting on tiny stools, and there are people waiting patiently in the queue, and motor scooters hovering to deliver takeaways. Okay, three things are the hint that Tauvan sells best, one of the best fars. Number one, she has a dozen customers gathered around her shop. Number two, people are queuing patiently for their turn. Number three, motor scooters hovering for delivery takeaways. Question number 4, what is in the huge baskets which Tauvan carries through the street every morning before dawn? Since you're going to talk about the 2 baskets that she was carrying, okay?
And the first one is that one carry soil in a two who saucer shaped wicker basket.
Okay, she's
And the
got two wicker shaped baskets. One basket holds what?
one basket told for
First basket holds?
Boiling
one
water.
basket doubles the cauldron of stock over a charcoal 5 stoves. A
Okay,
smaller pot which can hold boiling water.
okay. And the second basket holds what? What is in the second basket?
In the second basket was the ingredients of the few, like meat, spring, onion, huge hang of fresh rice noodles.
Very good, very good. The first basket contains a cauldron of bubbling stock. Okay. And the second basket contains the accessories for the soup, such as piles of chopped coriander, mint, spring onion, etc. Or simply, the first basket holds a bubbling cauldron of stock, and the second basket holds the accessories to the soup. Question number 5, how does she carry these heavy baskets? For question number 4, you don't have to list the ingredients, okay? All you can simply say is the first basket holds the cauldron of bubbling stock, and the second basket holds all the accessories which go inside the soup. All right. Question number 5. How does she carry these heavy baskets?
She carries it across her shoulders.
On her shoulders, on a yoke.
On
We're
the
going to talk about the yoke. Y-O-K-E, yoke. She carries them through the narrow streets on her shoulder on a yoke. Question number 6. Why does the writer says that Tauvan looks like a jet pilot in the cockpit?
that pilot in the cockpit. What does it?
This is from Paragraph 4. With all her ingredients and cooking systems arranged, stoves at her elbow, a stove at her left elbow, bowls, noodles, meat, and herbs to the right, she looks like a jet pilot in the cockpit.
And because all of the ingredients are different colors, and the colors make it look like she's inside a jet.
Okay. And what does the inside of a jet looks like? There are a lot of buttons, isn't it?
Yeah, like a lot of green and red buttons.
Okay. So the thing is, with all the ingredients lined up around her, in front of her, it looks like she is sitting inside a pilot, or she is the pilot, a jet pilot in a cockpit, because the way the condiments are arranged in front of her are similar to what the inside of a jet plane looks like. ठीक है? To a layman, they seem difficult. ठीक है? If I am asked to fly a jet plane, I wouldn't know what button does what thing. ठीक हो गया? चलें जी. Moving over to the next question, explain how the contents of the fa are assembled in the bowl. This is again paragraph number 5. Aman, since you are here, start participating. जी मेरा बेटा.
Arrange to please the eye and the stomach.
Yes, Aman. How does she prepare the bowl? Does she pour the soup first? What does she put inside the bowl first?
The noodles are dunked in a smaller pan. Then the noodles slide into the bowl.
Okay. Can we say that the first thing she puts a fistful of warm noodles inside the bowl? Can we shrink the idea and say that she puts a fistful of rice noodles inside the bowl?
Yes.
Then what does she arrange next? What does she add to them?
She adds little buckets of coriander, mint, chopped spring onion on top of the noodles.
Okay, next she adds.
Next into the bowl are some slices of beef.
Okay, and finally? And finally, she adds a ladleful of.
Wooden chopsticks and poke.
No. Finally, she puts in a ladleful of stock. Okay. First, she puts in a handful of warm rice. First, she puts in a handful of warm rice noodles. On top come little bouquets of coriander, mint, spring onions. Next, she adds some slices of meat. Finally, she adds a ladleful of stock. Clear? 4 things go inside it. Clear? Question number 8. For the people, how do the present times compare with the Vietnam's famine years?
Back then, it was known as the hungry times.
Okay.
And flour was extremely expensive and nobody could buy it. Exactly. And also, there was a shortage of food because of the war.
Absolutely. Because of war, There was shortage of food. The famine years were called the hungry times, and far was an unaffordable luxury. Not everyone could afford to eat it. Okay, question number 9. In the famine years, Wang ate yellow starch. What was this starch intended for? What was the purpose of that?
Marmalade.
It was for the animals, but they were so hungry that they had to eat it anyway.
Exactly. That yellow starch was basically animal feed. It was the feed for the animals. Question number 10. How have those famine years affected the way Chow feels today? This is from paragraph 7. This is, you can say this is the last line. You can extract the answer
Ma'am,
from the last
they shared
paragraph.
they shared 2 eggs between 9 people.
And read the last line.
Um,
Read the last line.
So he's grateful for everything that he has and would say that everything and anything is precious as long as it's good food.
Exactly. Chow says that every single thing that they have for to eat is absolutely precious for them. Okay, because they have been through the worst of times. They have seen the worst hunger, which no one can imagine. And so now everything, eggs, peanut, sugar, everything is precious to them. They know the value of food. They know the value what hunger feels like. Okay, coming to the questions in the next exercise, reading for detail. Explain how words and phrases in paragraph 1 tell you that pho is important to the Vietnamese people. What words or phrases in paragraph 1 tell you that pho is important to the Vietnamese?
It's called one of the world's greatest breakfasts.
Exactly. It is the smell of a national obsession. Underline smell of a
Soul of Nation.
soul of the nation. Best soup in the world. These three phrases tell us that pho is the most important meal for, or it is the most important food for the Vietnamese. Okay, underline again. The first phrase is smell of a national obsession, or simply national obsession. Best soup in the world, soul of the nation. National obsession, best soup in the world, soul of the nation. These are the three phrases that tell us that pho is important for the Vietnamese. Mohsen, question number 2. Describe the two types of meat which go into pho. This is paragraph 2, towards the end, towards the middle or the end of paragraph 3. Sorry, paragraph 3. Mohsen, the two types of meat that go in the pho.
The first one is Kari paratha.
Hmm.
The first one is the raw and tender red beef.
Okay. And the second?
And, and the second raw beef noodle soup.
Both are raw. Both of them are raw.
Oh,
Hmm.
Little shavings of bloody fillet and
one is red beef and second is beef. Raw beef.
piles of chopped
Uh,
coriander.
No,
tendons.
no.
Beef and
See, it says in bowls are slivers of beef, two types. There are thin slices from a hunk of the long boiled shoulder, which flavored the stock. The other type is little shavings of bloody fillet,
Oh,
raw and tender red beef. Okay? Extract the answer from these lines. Slivers of two kind of beef are added to the bowl. The first are thin slices from a hunk of long boiled shoulder, which flavored the stock. And second are the shavings from bloody fillet, or which are raw and tender red beef. Question 3. Explain why Tao Wan requires the skill of ambidextrous juggling to serve her soup. Why does she need to be ambidextrous while preparing the bowl of soup?
because it takes so long to do,
Hmm.
and she needs to do it faster. So if she
And
uses two hands,
okay,
it's good. But ambidextrous means you're good with two hands as well. So if she's good with both hands, it's going to be a lot easier.
exactly. And she has to serve how many customers?
Right.
A lot.
How many?
80, ma'am.
80?
Oh,
100 bowls.
Exactly, till 9 a.m. From dawn till 9 a.m., she has to sell around 100 bowls. So she cannot, she has to work with both hands so she can prepare a bowl in 2 minutes, one bowl in 2 minutes. She has to serve 100 customers, and, she has to serve the bowl hot. So the answer will be Tawan has to serve 100 bowls to one bowl every 2 minutes. So she needs to be quick and uses both her hands to prepare the bowl. In, prepare one bowl every 2 minutes. Okay, she has to serve 100 customers till 9 o'clock, and she uses both her hands to prepare a bowl of pho every 2 minutes. How do the ingredients for the pho during the hungry time compare with the ingredients used today? Paragraph number 6.
Now it's like they try and make it the best they can, but
Mm,
then they just try to make it out of anything they could get their hands on.
mm. For example,
Tiny, tiny crabs
huh,
and
they would
garnish from the shells
exactly. The shells were
and
grounded, and they would use the grounded shells of the crab to garnish the soup. And the soup would be made out of tiny river crabs, which are not as nourishing as beef, obviously. Okay, so while today they have so many, we've already read a list of ingredients that go inside the farm. Whereas in earlier times, whatever they could lay their hands on would be used to prepare the stock, and such as the tiny river crabs, and the shells of those crabs would be ground up and seasoned on top. Last question. Which details about Wang's past life does the writer include to illustrate that food was scarce? We're talking about Wang. Which details about Wang's past life does the writer include to illustrate that food was scarce?
They called pho an unaffordable luxury.
Okay. For them, pho was an unaffordable luxury. Later on, what do they talk about?
And they also said that she had to eat animal food just so that she could eat.
Exactly. And fish sauce was also a sauce made out of stinky fish, basically. You like with those tiny fish, they are soaked in vinegar, and you let it brew like a pickle. The fish sauce is basically tiny fish pickle, and you use the brew and you eat it. Imagine eating a fish brew with sticky rice. So and she ate the yellow starch, which was basically animal feed. Okay, number one, he says that during the famine years, pho was an unaffordable luxury. And number two, he mentions that her diet included rice, fish sauce, and a yellow starch, which was used to, which was actually a feed for the animals. Okay. With that, we come to the end of the question and answers. I'd request you guys to attempt these in your notebooks. Okay. Thank you ever so much, and be prepared for tomorrow. We will do the vocabulary exercises. Ooh, there are lots and lots of vocabulary exercises. Okay, thank you very much. Please make sure that you mark your attendance before you leave. Avaimir, I'd request you to mark your attendance again, because when you marked it earlier, I wasn't recording. Okay, Shakar, and okay. Um, it's Oxford Progressive English, Book 8. Okay. Um, we are on book number 6, and we have to complete 4 more units from this book. Okay. I will not start book number 9 until and unless we have not completed this book. Okay. This book needs to be completed before we can move over to the next book. Clear? Okay. Thank you very much, dears.
मैम एग्जाम में सारे चैप्टर्स आएंगे
अच्छा, आप लोग के एग्जाम में ना ठहर जाएं. We don't use the book. Okay.